Alright guys, here for my second video of the day. First we're going to talk about some fright rag stuff that I got. My critter shirt, with just the face of one of the krites. Nasty little monsters with teeth that can fly spaceships, eat as a family, as Ugg would say. And it's just a really cool shirt. Again, fright rags. The other thing I got from Fright Rags was the Joe Bob Briggs pint glass. Had to get it, so they got them back in stock. They were in stock, sold out. Now they brought them back in stock a couple weeks ago. I just got it this past week. It's going to go in my cabinet with all my favorite beers and liquors. And just because, excuse me, I don't want to use it that often, if I even use it, for the main fact that when you wash these, wash by hand. If you get a glass with a printed design on them, wash them by hand. Because you put these in the dishwasher, the likelihood of this logo fading goes up. And I don't like that. The ones that I have that have logos that I don't want them fading, I wash them all by hand. If I don't care, I'll put them in the dishwasher. But this will not be going in the dishwasher. So yeah. But we are going to be doing the Hallmark Dreambook I got this week in the mail for 2026 for their ornaments. In the front there, you got a goofy little Santa. On the back, it shows the premiere and the ornament. What is it called? What do they call it? The ornament debut and the ornament premiere. And ornaments usually come out twice in a year. Some will get delayed down to October. Others, most of them come out in July. This is my second attempt at making this video. I lowered the camera on my phone. I lowered my phone stand so I could get in closer, because I'm going to tilt it so you can look the dream book aimed at you, with what we're gonna show you here for their ornaments this year. I'm not going through the whole book. We're gonna start off about halfway through. Each book comes with a wish list. It's great for pre-ordering these ornaments, because some of these ornaments will sell out. Some of these items in this book will sell out, and if you have to buy them secondhand, they're going to be more expensive, and they're already pretty expensive just going through Hallmark. But let's jump into the dream book here. I'll be telling you which ones I plan on getting. You're not going to see my face the rest of the time here. Probably just my white legs, because I wear pants at work all the time. I hope that angle is good. I'm kind of sitting on my couch here. No Lincoln. He's downstairs with his pappy, hanging out. He's got to go to the vet tomorrow. He's limping. We're all old, beat up people in this house. I mean, Lincoln's the youngest. He's only 4, but yeah. So here we go. First page we're starting with here. We've got down at the bottom here. We got a train set for Lionel's Pennsylvania steam locomotive set for train collectors. Most of these, if you see these like wording to the side for the brands, they're usually part of a series. Like the Ford, they probably have other Ford trucks. I don't get into collecting the Plymouths. The Star Wars though, we've got A and B. A is the Red 5 Rebel Pilot Show Toppers Mini Christmas Tree Topper. And the Christmas tree, you don't see it very much here, but it's right here. It's a black tree, and it is a Show Toppers Black Mini Christmas Tree. I'm thinking about getting this, because I haven't had a Christmas tree in a long time, and this is the Rebel Alliance mini Christmas tree skirt for this tree. So if I get I have to get all 3 of these, which I might do, because that helmet's pretty cool. And it's Red 5. That's Luke. That's Luke from A New Hope, and before they were Rogue Squad. Because when they were the Red Squad, was only in A New Hope. After that, after A New Hope and they destroyed the Death Star, they became Rogue Squadron, because they were the only squadron left. I mean, Gold Squadron was destroyed. They were the Y-Wings. They all got wiped out. But here we have the Millennium Falcon and the X-Wing. They're each separate. And by their price, $13, I believe they're minis, and they're chrome. So that's pretty cool. And then over here, we have the Peanuts. You know, Snoopy. And then that's this whole section here. You got the Peanuts tree skirt, tree topper, and Jay, and they have a Christmas tree, a mini Christmas tree for Peanuts, which is pretty cool. You know, that way if you have a small place, you don't have room for a big tree, you can get one of these small trees for yourself. Obviously the Star Wars is black because you want that iconic black for the ships and that. Over here we have a Barbie ornament. We have a Minion, Bob's Flower Power. Guess he's got a little flower on his head and he's in a pot. You got Aang from Avatar, and then here you have gliding and singing. Whatever. It's Snoopy and it's Pluto and Mickey with Christmas hats on. It's Disney. Speaking of Disney, we have the rides, different ride ornaments from the parks, and Pirates of the Caribbean. But this is not the movie. This is Pirates of the Caribbean, the ride. So keep that in mind if you're looking for the Pirates. It's the ride, not the ornaments, or the movies with Jack Sparrow. More Disney stuff. One of their movies that they're doing. Hallmark movies. Bunch of Disney Mickeys and Minnies and a Goofy. And then you have a carousel. Poison Apple from Snow White. Dozing Dopey. Hope you can see this. Let me move the camera. I have it kind of set right in the middle of my table here. Sorry for the movements, guys. I want you to be able to see the book as much as possible. And yeah, we got Bambi, and here we got whatever that is, a little dolly, the White Rabbit, and we got Tinkerbell, Precocious Pixie, they're calling that. Here we have Maleficent in dragon form. There we go, there you can see it a little better. Maleficent in dragon form from Sleeping Beauty. You have a couple of Little Mermaids, one being Ursula, just straight up Ursula, and then Where the People Are, her singing. Princess and the Frog, and then Moana. Belle with the magic mirror. The enchanted mirror, I'm sorry. Enchanted mirror. Mrs. Potts and Chip. And a couple of little, like, chibi style from Aladdin and Frozen. And then here we have the Proud Family. It looks like a grandma. Lizzie McGuire. We have Stitch. Pooh and Eeyore. Tigger and Pooh. Kermit as Captain Smollett, and I believe that's the Muppets Treasure Island that he was that character. Chip and Dale as Zootopia 1. And over here, Roz. See her. Roz and Mike and Sully from Monsters Inc. And then down here you have Lightning McQueen from Cars, which I don't care about Cars. I don't watch that. And we pull back here and we've got Eve from Wall-E. And then Toy Story 5. Jessie and Smarty Pants. Whatever Smarty Pants is. It's from the new movie. I think that comes out this year. Makes sense why they would have an ornament for it. You have wrapped up Rex from Toy Story. Him wrapped up in Christmas lights. And then just 2 pages of Peanuts. Different Snoopy and different characters from the Peanuts. Yeah, just I don't recognize some of the yeah, Peanuts. My mom was a big Peanuts collector. She always said, people said she was like Lucy growing up. And of course we have the Barbies. That's a pretty big collection from Hallmark. And then over here we've got SpongeBob, Band Geeks. So it's him in the band attire. And then Goosebumps. It's a book cover, and I think it's a little 3D. I think it pops out of what looked like the book cover. And it's the Haunted Mask. That's pretty cool. I remember reading those as a kid. And then here we have Adventure Time, Finn and Jake. Fun show for kids and adults to watch with the kids. Hey Arnold. You got Arnold. This one's kind of funny. Not My Buttons. It's Farquaad with the gingerbread man on the tray. Not my gumdrop buttons. And then they do some product placement ones where they have Miracle Whip, Lunchables, and Cocoa Pebbles with Fred and Barney. And then here's more for kids. You know, you've got the Crayola series. You got Dr. Seuss. You got the Cat in the Hat. You got whatever that thing is. The Play School one. You got an Elmo. Don't touch me, Elmo. And over here you got a horse. You got a unicorn. And Hasbro just had to mix My Little Pony with Optimus Prime here and calls it Transformers My Little Prime. Make me gag. And then here you got Optimus Prime's Power, which is the Autobot symbol and Prime. They've done better Transformers ornaments in the past that I've seen. I don't collect them. You got Bugs from Space Jam. Tom and Jerry with Jerry hiding on up above. It's hide and seek. That's what they call it. Another Minion. Otto's Merry Mayhem. A Tonka truck. Tinsel Dactyl, they call it. And this one's kind of sad. And I'm kind of bummed out by this one. It says, "I've been good this year," and it's Snoopy with Scooby-Doo. I'm sorry, not Snoopy. Scooby-Doo with wings and a halo, like he's dead. Okay, all dogs go to heaven. I'm sorry, all dogs go to heaven, but we don't need Scooby-Doo being dead. I guess they're running out of Scooby-Doo ideas to kill him off for a Hallmark ornament. Here's the fun. We're getting into some fun pages here. Up here, you get the Marios. You've got the Lakitu from the racing game, Mario Kart. Sorry, I'm not a Nintendo. I loved Mario when I was a kid. I had a Nintendo, I had a Super Nintendo. I had a 64 and a GameCube, and I played Nintendo back then, but as I got older, Nintendo was always geared, in my opinion, towards children, and as I grew up, I wanted more adult games, which I got. But these ornaments are pretty cool. The Fire Mario, that's pretty cool. Koopa Troopa, that's clever. And I believe, because it's Super Mario, I believe these are like the movie ones. Mixed with Mario Kart, which is this one. And these, I think, are the movie ones. And then this one is just, it's Yoshi. And that's a magic one, so I'm guessing it says that. Which, if you're a parent, you might get annoyed with. And then over here we've got Pikmin and Animal Crossing. Not my games. Game I played a lot as a kid as well, Zelda. And that's just straight up Link. Just Link. You know, taking the knee, being Link. It's a magic one, so I'm interested in what that would do. And if you're curious, go to your local Hallmark, get your Dreambook, fill out your wish list if you want to get these for people, or for yourself even, because again, they do sell out. And even if you go on the premiere day, the premiere weekend, I think they do it. This one's in July, so if you're like, I want to know what the magic effect does, like if that's your deciding factor, what is it going to do? It says lights and plays game music, so that's what that one does. This one, press the lever to see Yoshi hatch and hear game sound. So probably says, it's Yoshi, or something like that. Over here, we've got the Pokemon. With the Pokemon Tree Topper with the ball and Pikachu. And that's just a regular tree topper. So that's, for a big tree. And then you've got a tree skirt. Because it doesn't say that it's for their mini trees. It's probably a full-size tree skirt. But if you're into Pokemon or have kids that are into Pokemon, you might want to get that if you're really into it. I'm not a big Pokemon guy. I came after, I was out of that phase of my life. I played Magic Gathering in my teens. Grew out of it. I grew out of that kind of stuff. Because they're really, these things are really money pits. Games are one thing. Games you can play over again. You can go back and replay them, have fun with them. But it looks like they have a couple different. Is that Captain Pikachu? And J is, what is J? Espeon and Umbreon. Oh, there's two of them there. Must be their evolved forms. And then they got the balls. Balls are Pokeballs. They are, set of 6. Set of 6 Pokeballs. Yeah, that's pretty cool. About $43 for all 6 of the Pokeballs. You can always get the Pokeballs and mess with people, take off the balls from their tree and put on Pokeballs. Especially if they're Pokemon fans and you want to surprise them and they decorate with those Christmas balls. You can go get the set of 6, go to their house, and then pull the balls off their tree and replace them with Pokeballs and be like, hey, go look at your tree real quick. There's something kind of weird with it, with your Christmas balls. And they'll go look and be like, oh, that's cool. Thank you. I love you. We got more video game stuff here. We got a PlayStation. I guess if you're like grew up on PlayStation or knew someone who grew up on PlayStation, you get the console ornament. Here we have Sonic, and I don't know why, but DC Sonic, and they have Knuckles. So, oh wait, now I'm reading it. It's not Knuckles. It's Sonic as Flash. There it is down there. They always have the descriptions. And then you have the Warthog from Halo. If you're a Halo fan, they've had other Halo ornaments in the past. Then you have Minecrafts. I'm not a Minecraft guy. Over here, we're going to start getting some more ornaments that I plan on getting. Here we have an Avatar one. I'm not getting that because I'm not an Avatar guy. It's that weird fluffy buffalo flying creature that they got. It looks like a mix between a caterpillar, a buffalo, and a platypus. It's weird looking and whatever. It's an anime, so. Here's a cool one though, and I have both the graphic novels in hardback for this. The Last Ronin. And I kind of am bummed out. I never got the statue that Iron Studios made, but I'm looking for it. The Last Ronin. I don't want to reveal who the Last Ronin is. I want you should read the graphic novel if you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. Read the graphic novel. It's really good. Set in the future. He's the last surviving of the brothers. And when you find out who it actually is, you might be a little shocked. But it's I'm picking that ornament up. And here you have a Naruto and a Jujutsu Kai whatever. It's another anime that's new, you know. If you're a teen into anime and you know what that is, you may want that. Another one I'm getting, Super Saiyan. Goku, obviously. Just says Super Saiyan. And it's like, well, there's a lot of Super Saiyans in Dragon Ball Z. But I will be getting Goku. Because I am a old school Dragon Ball Z fan. Haven't watched like Super or whatever. I've watched Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT. And while Dragon Ball is iconic and hilarious with the Red Ribbon Army, Dragon Ball Z was even better. It was really good. Now we're getting into Star Wars stuff. This is where I will be getting quite a few of these things. These are magic ones. Each ornament plays lines from the show. And it's the quad laser battle when the Millennium Falcon escapes from the Death Star, and Luke and Han jump on the quad lasers, and you know the movie, you know what happens. It's pretty cool. I'm debating getting both of these just because it's a pretty iconic back and forth between them. Jedi Knight, Luke Skywalker, I will be getting that just because I have him as a Padawan. I have him training with Yoda. It'd be cool to have the Jedi Knight one. And then you have a Christmas R2, a magic one. I don't think I'm going to get that. R2's cool, but he doesn't wear a Christmas hat or deliver presents. He's just a huge jerk because his mind was never wiped. He knew his dad. He knew everything. And yeah, he's just, R2 can keep a secret because he did keep a lot of secrets. And you got the iconic Star Wars logo that lights up. That's pretty cool. Continuous light is what it says. So those words just stay lit. And over here, I will be getting the Snow Trooper. It looks pretty cool. Because I love, my favorite Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back. The Snow Troopers were just iconic running through the Rebel base. I just rewatched that on Revenge of the 5th. On Monday was the Disney Star Wars Day. You know, the 4th and 5th of May are not the true Star Wars Day. They are the Disney Star Wars days. I still celebrate them because I do love Star Wars. Not the sequel trilogies, but the OG, the original trilogy, and the prequel trilogy I like, but not the sequels. So Star Wars Day, I watched the Battle of Scarif in Rogue One. I watched that to the end of Rogue One, and then jumped right into A New Hope. And then on Tuesday, Revenge of the 5th, I watched Empire, my favorite. And then we got the B-Wing. That's cool. I'm getting that. I'm going to pre-order that. Boba Fett in his iconic, the action figure back from the 80s in his packaging as an ornament. That's clever. I'm not going to get it. I don't collect those ones. And then we have 3 from this year's Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which I will not see. It looks bad. And the way Disney, what they did with Mandalorian was just a joke. If they had kept it like the first season, him just being a straight up bounty hunter without this little green guy, I mean, it makes sense that Grogu exists. We saw the female of Yoda's species in A Phantom Menace, and we never saw her after that, presuming that he is the son of Yoda and Yaddle, who sat on the Jedi Council, and when she got knocked up, she went into hiding because their species, they're very vulnerable. Yoda was still very vulnerable, even being, in the Jedi Council and being extremely tied in with the Force. They're a very vulnerable species because of their height and stature. And then we have a weird little Babu Frick thing, of course, because Disney they have to rope kids in with cutesy little things. Kids and women, they try and rope in with cutesy little things. The ship, the Razor Crest, I will be getting that because I like the design of the ship. I got the first iteration of the Razor Crest, and this is going to be the new one for Mandalorian and Grogu. Which, how did they get it? Well, they built another one. Okay, we're not even going to go into details about that, because we got 3.5 seasons of The Mandalorian. Book of Boba Fett, halfway through, just became a season 2.5 of The Mandalorian, leading up to season 3 of The Mandalorian, which was utter garbage. Season 2 ended on a very good point with Grogu going off with Luke to learn, to be taught, and that's where they should have ended his story. But of course, because he sells things, they got to keep him around. Rogue One. We got 2 Rogue One ornaments here. We've got Vader in the hallway being Vader, just killing rebel soldiers, which was iconic. I love it. It's one reason I love that scene. I will be getting that ornament just because it's Vader being Vader. Jyn Erso, did not hate her character. The Rogue One movie was the best thing that Disney did besides season 1 of The Mandalorian. And, a lot of season 2 of The Mandalorian, there were good parts of that. I'm not going to get that because I like the ships. I like certain iconic things. Characters, like, it's got to be an iconic character like Luke over here. And then they've got a Darth Maul from the new Maul series, which I believe they came out with a Maul before from Phantom Menace, and I know I would have that if they did. So I don't need that Maul. Now, that and Jyn Erso are both limited, so if you are interested in getting them, make sure you put in for them. And they both come out. One comes out in July. Jyn comes out in July. Maul comes out in October. So when they go, they're probably gone. Now we've got Star Trek. Another one that I buy and collect, especially the ships. Now, the Shuttlecraft Galileo. I believe this is a reissue. I'm not sure. I have to check my collection because if it is, I already own it. If it isn't, I have to get it because it's an iconic shuttlecraft from the original series, which is like how I was introduced to Trek. That in the movies, the motion pictures, how I was introduced to Trek. Now we have the Lower Deck ship, which, what is that called? The Cerritos. Yeah, it's written there, Cerritos. I don't care about that. Didn't watch Lower Decks. Made for kids, good, whatever. It just didn't look like a good show to me. So showed no interest in it. And then, sorry I keep moving. I'm trying to keep this so you can see what I have here. Star Trek Picard. Now, this is the Neo Constitution class. Not the Titan. It is the Enterprise G. I will be getting that because I like that design of the ship. I think it's pretty cool. Like, that design of the ship, it looks lame. It just looks lame. What lower decks? It looks like it just goes from a saucer section into nacelles. There is no lower decks to that thing. It's just lame. The animated series, we got Spock Serpent Attack. I'm not getting that because that's from the animated series. It was really bad. It was Spock being attacked by snakes. It's like, okay. Strange New Worlds, that's Nurse Christine Chapel. I will not get that because Strange New Worlds, just like Star Trek Academy and a lot of Discovery, was just hot garbage. Kurtzman's Trek is the worst. Kurtzman did not do this. He did not do Picard Season 3 where we got this ship. He did Season 1 and 2. They had no faith in Season 3, so he abandoned it. Terry Matalas did it, and he did one heck of a job on it because he gave Star Trek fans what they wanted, which was what you got to do with your fans. If you don't do that, you don't have a show. You don't have a fan base. Everything else they've done with Trek recently has just been hot garbage. Our next page here. We got a Jurassic World ornament here. I have no interest in it. It's a Dolores, the little pet critter that they had in Rebirth. A little mutant. But some ornaments that I am excited for here. The UD-4L Cheyenne dropship from Aliens. Iconic sci-fi horror vehicle that everyone knows just from the profile what that ship is. The Colonial Marines dropship. They may not know the exact name, but they know the Colonial Marines dropship. That's what they'll remember it as. Die Hard fans remember it as the Cheyenne dropship, or the UD-4L dropship, or the UD-4L Cheyenne dropship. I will be pre-ordering that and getting that one. I'm excited for that. And then if you're a Battlestar Galactica fan, we have the Colonial Viper from the original 70s series, which is pretty cool if you're a die-hard old school Battlestar Galactica fan. I like Battlestar Galactica, both the original and the modern one. I like the design of the modern ones. The original ones use lasers. They just use laser cannons. I like how they made it feel more real with the modern one, with them using bullets and actual ammunition. It gave us a sense of resource management. You could run out of bullets or missiles. These even have missiles. They just had lasers. That's it. Just lasers. Yeah, over here you have Get Back in the Car, Morty, from Rick and Morty, when they were broke down in space and then Morty gets bitten by a snake in space, which leads down the whole Terminator subplot to that episode, which was hilarious, and leads us into our next ornament, Sarah Connor from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. They've done other Terminator ornaments in the past. Now they got Sarah Connor looking all disheveled with a shotgun towards the end of the film. Obviously you've seen it probably. If you haven't, then you've been living under a rock since the 90s. A couple more that I'm excited for that I'm going to be getting. Godzilla, Long Live the King. So we're talking King of Monsters Godzilla. I thought that was a great movie with Ghidorah and showcasing the other Titans when Ghidorah woke them up. Rodan, one of my favorite ones last year. They came out with a Rodan ornament. I have it. So this is going to look great with that on a tree. They came out with other Godzilla ornaments in the past, and they were tied to a new empire. So they had the pink Godzilla, and they had Kong with that Robo Mecha glove on from a new empire. And I was just like, I wasn't thrilled by those ornaments. I want Godzilla to be Godzilla. I want Kong just to be Godzilla, just to be Kong. Now, if they did a Kong from Godzilla vs. Kong with the axe, I would get that. But otherwise, it's this guy and Rodan. I'd like to see a Ghidorah ornament. That would be cool. Or a Tiamat. That would be cool. Next one. Another one I'm excited for. I'm getting Shai-Hulud from Dune, the Sandworm. I will be getting that one as well. That one looks pretty cool. It looks like it'll just be a nice little decoration for in the cabinets. And then we have superheroes, of course, because got superhero movies coming out this year. Supergirl, of course. And it looks like they did the new Supergirl design. Not really thrilled with that. Crypto, I'm on the fence with Crypto. I love Crypto. He's cute. That's how you drew the kids in with the first Superman movie, which was not good. Supergirl, I think, is going to be absolute hot garbage of a film. James Gunn is not good. He's not good. You know, I think there's too much hype behind that man. And he's just not making good films anymore. Guardians of the Galaxy were great. But with the DC Universe, I don't think he's hitting the mark with them. I think he's trying to make them too colorful and bright and happy. And the DC Universe is the universe of gods and monsters. And they need to focus on a darker universe like Zack Snyder did with the Snyderverse. So you had Man of Steel, you had Batman v Superman, you had the Justice League movie, which, don't watch the Joss Whedon one. Go watch the Snyder cut because it's way darker of a film. Wonder Woman he wrote, which was awesome. Introduction to her. Even after they had already introduced Wonder Woman, it went back and explained why she walked away from humanity for almost 100 years. From World War I to Batman v Superman, she had no involvement in helping people, which is why that 1984 one that they did with Patty Jenkins was crap. Because it broke the canon of she walked away from the world of men because the man she fell in love with died. He sacrificed himself. And she just was like, I'm done with people for a while. Then when a monster showed up, she realized, I'm a demigod, I got to do my thing. And we have Batman and Robin at the computer. And then we have the vintage figure Batman Christmas tree ornament, you know, in its packaging, back from the 70s Adam West era of Batman. The blue suit, do the bat dance. And over here we got Marvel. Of course, we got a Spider-Man movie coming out this year, so we've got some Spider-Man ornaments. Very Christmas-focused Spider-Man here. Up here, we've got Grogu Snow Day. Or Groot. I'm sorry, Groot. Again, Disney just has to make things cutesy to draw people in. Snow Day Groot from I Am Groot. The Blackbird. On the fence about getting this. It is X-Men 97 Blackbird, which is the old animated series, which was awesome. I have not watched the new animated series because I've heard mixed reviews. I'm going to give it a shot eventually. It's on the docket of many things to watch. You have the Merc with a Heart Deadpool. So if you're a Deadpool fan, you might want to get that. Dr. Doom. Now we have a Dr. Doom statue, but they don't have a picture of this ornament. And he is set to come out in October, so they probably won't even have one in July to show off. They'll keep it a secret until it's about to come out, and then at the premiere or debut or whatever one it is in October, that's when you'll get to see that Dr. Doom from Avengers Doomsday. So it's going to be the Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom. I'm interested to see that ornament. I might get it because I love Dr. Doom. I don't know if I'll love that Avengers Doomsday movie, but I have a feeling I might go see it. It is Robert Downey Jr. He's a really good actor. He's one of those actors that I will watch. There's a very few actors that, doesn't matter what they're in, I will watch them. Robert Downey Jr. is not at the top of that list. No, the top of that list is Ewan McGregor. I will watch that man in anything. He is a great actor. So, next page. Let's get this out of here. For their 50% off a year of streaming for their Hallmark thing. So, if you go pick this up, you ladies out there who like your Hallmark Plus movies, and get these coupons in there. Get 50% off your streaming. Now we're into Harry Potter. Now, a lot of people are mixed on the Harry Potter thing because of J.K. Rowling, but you know what? This is a good movie series for kids. I worked in a movie theater when a lot of these came out. I got to see a lot of them. Over here is a limited one. Neville Longbottom. And he's got the Sword of Gryffindor. So that is from the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And then you've got the magic one. Oh, what's it do? It growls? That's cool. It's the Book of Monsters. That's a clever one. And here it looks like it's a book. So that's pretty cool. It's reversible. And then you have these. Now, a lot of these are part of their series. So if you're not collecting these now, it's going to be hard to get into them, because if you want to go back and get some, you're going to have to spend some money. Some of these have been out for a while. Like this Tree Topper, the Weeping Willow with the car in it, the flying car, that's been out for a while. And I think they're going to be, final release. So they're probably discontinuing that. If you want to get that, I would get it. And that's a real Tree Topper. What's this? The Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets Christmas Tree Topper and Ornament Collection. So we got Dobby, Hagrid, Lucius and Draco, Ron and Hermione, Harry, Albus Dumbledore, which Chambers of Secrets, that will be the original actor. I forget his name. Gilderoy Lockhart, and then the Whomping Willow and the Flying Car. Each of those is going to be sold separately. So if you want to get that, if you like Chamber of Secrets and you like these ornaments, or like certain characters, you're going to have to get in on them. There's Dobby over there. That's a fan favorite right there. Dobby. Hagrid. Hagrid was always my favorite. Dobby was cute and way overpowered once he was freed. But it just goes to show how powerful the goblins and the elves, the house elves, really were. And that's why they had to enslave the house elves. You imagine, with the powers that Dobby had, you get 10 of those little guys free with the damage they could do, what they could do. Especially if they turned to the dark side, went evil. You know, they could do some damage. The Harry Potter game, Hogwarts Legacy, that was a fun game. I played it. And I actually played it a couple times, because I played it as my house, Ravenclaw. I did the test. I went to Harry Potter World at Orlando. Before I went with my ex, we did the official online test to see what house we would be in. She ended up in Gryffindor, which she didn't agree with. And I ended up in Ravenclaw, which we both agreed with. Very much a Ravenclaw. And then you got Hedwig with the, looks like the invitation to Hogwarts. So, over here, and we got more movies, different movies. Hallmark ornaments are really cool. There are other ornament sites out there, but the Hallmark ones get pretty detailed. Plus, if you have a certain fan base, you know, Shark Week, you got a shark in a Christmas sweater with a stupid hat over its fin. So he's covering his gills up so he would die. But that's, I mean, it's cool. If you love Shark Week, I love Shark Week. I watch Shark Week every year. There you go. You got Shark Week. And the nice thing is with HBO Max, you can watch Shark Week all year long. I watch it only during Shark Week. Just like on 4th of July, around 4th of July, I'll watch Jaws. Because that's a good build up to the 4th movie. We got Schitt's Creek. Who is that? Johnny Rose. There you go. If you're a fan of Schitt's Creek and you collect these or want to collect these, there's Johnny. Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller. You know who that is. I don't know who Tyler Hines is, but there's an ornament. Wicked. You got whatever her name is. It's called Defying Gravity, but it's the Wicked Witch. I'm not a fan of Wicked. I think the actress that did it is really weird and is really creepy towards Ariana Grande, and Ariana Grande just does not look healthy. I hope she gets help. Yellowstone. If you're a fan of Yellowstone, you know, looks like boots and a hat. Yeah. Wear the Brand. That's what it's called. Wear the Brand. Friends. It's Pivot. So if you have a family member in the Friends, I know someone whose family is really in the Friends. There's a Friends one. Here is, what is that one? Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls. That's a chick show. So, but there you go. If you're in the Gilmore Girls, Golden Girls. There you go. Then over here, you've got The Cowardly Lion, Journey to the Land of Oz. So you got Wizard of Oz, and then the Ruby Slippers, which is a lie. Only in the movie were they ruby slippers, because the original movie came out. It was black and white at first. It brought Technicolor in, but they wanted the slippers to pop, because in the book, the slippers are not ruby; they are silver. Silver slippers in the book. In the movie, they made them ruby because they really wanted, when Technicolor came out, they wanted that pop of that color in the Technicolor. We've got Lord of the Rings ornaments, and this is from Fellowship of the Ring. It says right here, Lord of the Ring, Fellowship of the Ring Christmas Tree Ornaments Collection. 3 ornaments. And it looks like the collection is just one price. You don't get them separately, you get them all together. I don't know. Oh no, $42.99 each. And Gandalf comes out in October. Sam and Frodo come out in July. And they are a collection from the Fellowship when they first venture off. No Merry or Pippin, so. And then we have some more movies here. Now, there are some fun ones here. Look at Gizmo in a box. You can see that. I'm angled right for you to see this. Gizmo in a box. Ghostbusters ugly sweater. A Funko Pennywise. I think he's in a refrigerator. Bob dressed up like Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice. Another one I'm getting, because we just did a Halloween video. Halloween 2 Michael Myers. I'll be picking that up. And Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'll be getting that ornament as well. I probably won't use him as an ornament because it looks like he has a pretty solid base there. So I'll be using him in my statue cabinet because I've never found a good Gilman statue yet. Still looking. If they ever come out with one, I'll have it. Because Creature of the Black Lagoon, iconic Universal monsters. Over here, we've got Nightmare Before Christmas. Classic, great movie, holds up to this day. Never need to remake it. But we've got Santa Jack's Sleigh Ride table decoration. That is just a straight up, that has not an ornament. That is going to be decently sized. That is pretty cool. You know, and if you are a decorator for Halloween, that is going to be an iconic decoration for Halloween. You even have Zero up at the front, like Rudolph, the skeleton reindeer, Jack in his creepy sleigh, which it's just great. You have a, what is that? Festive Sally Nutcracker. That's an ornament. And the lever moves. The Nutcracker. And then you have Santa Claus as an ornament. That's pretty cool. So yeah, there you go. You got Nightmare. That is pretty cool. What is that costing people? $150 for this table decoration. There goes your entire Spirit Halloween budget. But I'm telling you what, it's a magic thing. Performs a synchronized sound and light show from the film. So, yeah, that could be pretty cool. You know, they'll have this at display when it comes out. It's a July release. It might go quick. You never know. If people have $150 to drop and they're a big Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare Before Christmas fans, it might snag that up pretty easily. And then we got some other. Tricks and treats. So you got a lot of horror, well, I should say Halloween based Christmas items here. I don't know. I guess if you want to celebrate Halloween at Christmas time, you can technically celebrate Halloween twice a year. Halloween and then halfway to Halloween. It's a fun holiday. It's good for the kids to get out, walk around, pick up some candy. But we got the Lock, Shock, and Barrel. The 3 Oogie Boogie kids. And this is just labeled. So these all come together. Citizens of Halloween Town. Set of 4. So you got Lock, Stock, and Barrel. And the poor Easter Bunny they kidnap. You got that. Lock, Stock, and Barrel. And the Easter Bunny. Set of 4. That's pretty funny. Again, Nightmare Before Christmas fans, you might want to pick that up. You got Hocus Pocus, the Sanderson Sisters Cauldron, Toy Story, an alien jack-o'-lantern, Double Trouble, it's Chip and Dale stuck in jack-o'-lanterns, Scarecrow Snoopy, and Spooked Trick or Treat. So it's another Peanuts one there. 2 Peanuts ones. And over here, you have Mysterious Little Mummy, Darling Little Devil, Good Gourd, Orange Cat Energy, a little cauldron. Attaches to a light string. Okay, so that doesn't use their magic cords. And Happy Halloween. Then you got what the heck is that one? Sir Gordon Fields is that one. And there's another Nutcracker. And here you have Nifty 50s Halloween, because they had those goofy, again, one of those plastic maps we talked about in the Halloween video, the Michael Myers one. You know, you put your tongue through that slit and you sure were getting cut. They did not care about kids' safety back in the day, or they just toughened us up. You know, they toughened us up so things like this bandage happen to you, you still go on with your life. Halloween Catitude. If you're a cat lover, there's another one. Just 2 pages of Halloween stuff in a Christmas keepsake. But there you go. Aim you back up here at me. And there we go. But there we go. There's the keepsake ornaments. Go to your local Hallmark. And we only went through half the book. There's a bunch of stuff in here. I'll put my wish list in the where I'm going to start marking things off to pre-order. Like I said, some of these things, like that Nightmare on Elm Street table decoration, that might go quick. There are people that love that movie. They might go in, they might reserve that, or word of mouth, this video, which if you share it with your family, because they're like, oh, what do you send me this for? It's the keepsake ornaments. He goes through half the book. The cool stuff, the fun stuff, the fandom stuff, the nerd stuff. You know, yeah, because half this book, they do cutesy little things. They've got nutcrackers. They've got Santas. They've got snowmen. I mean, you may find something else that you want out of this book. Or if you have loved ones that may want something, or, you know, there's birds. Look, there's birds and butterflies. If you know a bird watcher and, you know, they have bird ornaments, you can get them bird ornaments. There's all kinds of stuff in these things. More birds, Santa. They do some. There's even Christmas vacation ornaments earlier in the book. The one is 9 lives spent. And it's a magic, so I can imagine that thing lights up like it's getting electrocuted. That cat. Always Christmas Eve night, I watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. always. So, yeah. That cat gets lit up because he's chewing on the light cord. That movie just has so many ups to it. Like, you get those lull points where you're like, okay, I'm going to turn this movie on and I'm going to do some stuff. And then you'll hit the points where you have to watch it. You're just laughing. It's a great film. Plus, they also have Clark Griswold, you know, just standing there with his hand over his... Oh, it's when the grandma at the dinner, and they're like, hey, you say grace, and she's like, I pledge you allegiance, and everyone's like, get something, because she is senile, she doesn't know where she is. Oh, I love that movie. Anyway, there we go. We went through the dream book, most of it. 2026, go to your local Hallmark. Get online, because I think they do them online orders. I like to support my local businesses. That's why I go to the store. I take the wish list, turn it in. I got some ornaments last year. That's why I got the dream book, and I figured, hey, make a video of that dream book, because it's, you know, people might not know what's out there for collectibles and, you know, Christmas decorations. Like I said, I haven't had a full-size tree since I was a kid. Sad to say, I guess. I used to have a smaller tree. It got ratty and old. It was from when I was a kid. Because we'd have the full-size tree down in the living room, the family room. And in my room, I'd have my small tree, because my mother has a lot of Christmas ornaments, like old school ornaments. Some she even made. And they're all put away. And then I would have my small tree for just my ornaments, which I have way more ornaments than I would have. So I'd have to pick and choose. One year I did one side, it was all Star Wars. Another year I did one side, and it was Star Trek on the other side. One year it was just all the ships. Another year it's characters. I'd swap it out. The tree started getting ratty, and some of those ornaments started getting heavy. You know, so I'm looking for... I don't want a living tree, because for one, Lincoln would probably drink all the water from under the tree, and he would mess. I don't know what Lincoln would do with a tree, to be honest. It's not going to be like a cat where he's like batting at ornaments and I'm worried about breaking stuff, but he's going to sniff. He's a curious puppy. He's been sniffing at this since Friday evening, and he licks my fingers, and then if I'm not paying attention to where he's licking, which I feel it, but I'll feel him start at like my fingertips and then slowly move up to the bandage, and it's like, don't lick my bandage. He just... Daddy got hurt. He's worried about Daddy. It's like my dad when he falls down sometimes, because, well, he's almost 80 and he falls down sometimes. And I have to help him up, because he can't get up on his own when he's prone. But Lincoln will be all over him. As soon as he falls down, Lincoln's right there looking after him. Like, you fell down, don't hurt yourself, don't die. Lincoln's already lost one family member in the 4 years that we've had him, my mother, and I'll tell you what, he was looking for her. The whole time she was in the hospital, he was looking for her. He'd go to her side of the bed. He'd go to her spot at the couch. At her funeral, when he took me up to that casket 3 times to see her laid out in the casket, that's when he realized his grandma's not coming home. So, but anyway, have a good week. We will see you next weekend. Sorry this was a day late with both of these videos, but I hope you have a good week. Like me, tomorrow I'm going to take a little time off work to take Lincoln to the vet because of his leg. Have a good work week. And Saturday is going to be a little weird because I got to work next weekend. Not long hours, but I will be doing the Child's Play Chucky statue next week that I got from Child's Play 2. I'm interested to see that statue. It looks pretty cool. Again, I got 3 other statues I just ordered. Got a confirmation of the order. It's going to take a while because the store I bought them from, the website, is way over in Australia, but they had 3 statues that I really wanted because I was searching. One is a convention exclusive from Iron Studios. Another one is a horror-based one, which we'll talk about the movie it's attached to when I get it. And the third one is not Iron Studios, but it is a horror comedy based one, and we'll be talking about that film franchise when we get that statue. Still on the lookout for Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees from Iron Studios, both of them, their deluxe versions, as well as a good Terminator statue, or, you know, I want the endoskeleton. I want the T-800 endoskeleton. Not, I found one, but it's life size and it's expensive as all hell, and I don't have the money for that. Not to mention, I don't need a giant Terminator in my room. Lincoln would freak out at that thing. He's curious about statues. If I brought in a full-size 1-to-1 replica of a T-800 endoskeleton, he'd be barking at it constantly. Maybe even piss on it just to dominate it. But yeah, anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment. If you liked any of the ornaments, tell me which ones you liked. Again, I couldn't see the camera real well. I hope the video turns out well. I'm not doing this again because it took an hour to do this. And I already did redo this because when I made the last one, it was almost an hour. No, it was half an hour. I didn't draw it out like this time, but I had to cut it off because I had to go to the bathroom. I just started this whole video from scratch. I was like, I didn't even get to the Lord of the Rings ones. I gotta go back and restart this whole thing. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Have a good week at work. We'll see you next week.